Welcome to the beehive. Yes, it is a beautiful day outside. It is Memorial Day. Just to give you an idea of what day this video is, hopefully it'll go out today. It is beautiful. I am kind of staying in place only because our little town is kind of overrun with vacationers, and so I'm just playing it safe. And just so you know, the reason I'm playing it safe is I have coming up in June my youngest grandson's birthday and my son's birthday, his dad's birthday, on one weekend. And so, and my grandson's mother is expecting his brother, so we're playing it quite close to the vest here at home, keeping ourselves healthy and virus-free so that we can go up there and spend a little time with them. We're keeping our fingers crossed. And so for that reason, well, everything is kind of busy here. We're kind of staying close to home. Yeah. And so today in the beehive, what I am doing is I'm working on quilt binding for a quilt, the alphabet quilt, which you know about. And I generally do my binding on the bias, 2.5-inch strips, and then I sew all those strips together, kind of like chain piecing them. And then I'll put them on the quilt and I'll hand tack it down. Some baby quilts that I make, I will actually machine sew the binding down, but not too often. I like hand quilting. I mean, hand stitching the binding down. It's like a brainless stitching in front of the television. Also today, what I plan on doing is making some masks. I received a pattern from Jolynn up in Portland area. She has worked extensively throughout that area in quilt shops, and she works at Acorns and Threads, which we love. Yes, and so she sent me, I saw a mask that she made that I really liked the shape of it, and I wanted to give it a try, so she sent me that pattern, and I'm going to give it a try today. I was able to get several yards of elastic from the Stitch and Post, so I'm going to give that a try too, because this is something different for me. The ties are okay, the masks with the ties are okay, but they are cumbersome. You know, they are cumbersome, and I recognize that. So I'm going to try a little bit different type for G especially. He's not too fond of those ones you have to tie. Plus, when you wear hearing aids, you know, the tie, you know, we'll have to see how the elastic works. Yeah. So, how have you been? Oh, okay. Hanging in there? Yeah? Okay. Me too. Me too. It is nice that we are at least predicted. We are heading into a week of really decent weather, you know, like in the 70s. Last night was the first night that I didn't have to cover my flower basket out front. I also have on the agenda today a pillowcase for a birthday boy that's next week, and it was requested either Legos or Star Wars, and I had no Lego fabric, but I did have Star Wars. So, you know, when you're a nerd family, you gotta have Star Wars. So I have a pillowcase to make. So just some simple things like that, you know. I made a reservation for a campsite up at Belknap in June. Their campsites were opened for reservation, and they are, you know, setting them up appropriately. Their hot springs is totally closed, so, but it doesn't matter. It'll be nice just to get out in the fresh air, and it'll be a nice stop on the way back from Portland when and if we get to go. I'm keeping my, I've got high hopes. I've got high hopes. But it was kind of fun. I called up, for those of you that follow me on Instagram, if you remember last year, we had our happy hour on overlooking the Columbia River on Sauvie Island. That was so much fun. And I would do a little clip of what was passing us by on the river during happy hour. Well, I called them up to see if we could go camp there, because it seems kind of like a good spot to socially distant and camp. But it was a no-go. Their campground is shut down, and I totally get it. The campground's on a family farm, and he said he felt so bad. I know he felt so bad, but he said, no, we're closed. And I said, well, see, we have reservations there later this summer. I don't know if that'll happen, keeping my fingers crossed. But I asked him, when do you think you'll be open? And he said, I don't have a clue. Yeah, so, yeah, kind of a bummer. But, you know, what can you do? One foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. I have to admit that in a moment of weakness and need, I signed up for a block of the month. I signed up, I want to get the name right. I decided that I told myself I was not going to sign up for any block of the months. I have too many projects, as we will go through a few of them today. But I thought, you know, I need something that is different and that will make me smile. And so I signed up. It won't start till the fall, so that's good. It's not starting till the fall, and it's not handwork. It's actually quilt piecing, so that's different. See how I'm justifying everything here? And I decided this was going to be something totally out of my normal box. I did a block of the month with them a while ago in kind of these kind of colors, and it was a fun block of the month to do. It was just fun. And so I decided to take the leap again. Someone in my family will love this quilt. And in the meantime, I'll get to enjoy it while I'm making it. It's Bonnie and Camille's Quilt Bee. A quilt bee, how could I pass it up? And it's going to start in the fall of 2020, and so they're taking reservations right now to sign up for it, so they kind of know how much to order and get ready and to send out. And you get the first block you get the book, and then you just, you know, every month you get another block until you're all done. And it's in those bright Bonnie and Camille colors. What can I say? It's totally different than what I would normally do. And I decided I need a little bit of happy. Sometimes you just need a little bit of happy, if you know what I mean. So I decided to do that. I can't wait till tomorrow because I have my appointment for my vertigo. I've had, it's not been as bad as in the past because I've been really behaving myself. I've been sleeping with a wedge pillow so I can't turn over, which I hate. I hate that. and then I haven't been doing a lot of bending and all of that. Every so often, oh, when I wash my hair, that's the worst. You know, I tip my head forward because I take a bath. I tip my head forward and, oh man, kind of that ongoing nausea. And I so have appreciated, a lot of people, both here and on Stitch Roadies, have sent me suggestions, and I do appreciate them. And I know that, let's see, this will fit here. I know when I've tried to do the treatments at home, I have sometimes ended up in worse, I make it worse than better. And so since my appointment was so far out, I was reluctant to try anything at home because there was not going to be anybody that could save me. It's quite surprising that so many people suffer from this. I am not alone on this wagon, because not only have I heard from many of you who have the same issue, the PT that I go to when I get an episode, and thank God it's not very often, that's all he does. I mean, he's a physical therapist, and that's all he does is treat this. So it's kind of interesting. So a lot of people have this. So fun to start getting some things done. What else do I have to chit-chat about? I could chit-chat all day. I can't believe all of those poor people in Michigan. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And now we have tornadoes and, oh, hurricanes coming. It's kind of like, give me a break. Yeah, see, I chain piece all of it together. I just keep going until I get all the strips sewn together, and then I cut them apart, and then those two are not the same. Which two do not fit the other? Oh, here's one, I think. Yeah, so it's kind of exciting. Even though I have so many things ongoing already, it was kind of fun to pick one new thing out. I have less control over on the Stitch Roadie side, and it could be because it's it's fairly new to me. On the quilt roadie side, I am a little bit, just a little bit more controlled. Yeah, just a little bit. So I thought it'd be fun to start something new this year, to have something to look forward to. I still have some baby quilts to crank out too. Almost to the end here. So what are you working on? You got anything fun going on? I know everybody is biting at the bit for sure. is working out so good. Once I get this little binding strip sewn together, then we can go through some of my whip piles. I had someone ask if they could see what I had in my closet. Oh my God. Someday we might do a closet review, but it's kind of dark and cramped in there, and so there we go. So we might do that at a future date when I can set the camera up and get some good lighting to show you in there. But I thought I'd drag out a few things from out from in there to share with you. I cannot add another handwork. No handwork items. We have enough handwork to keep us busy, and as you can see, this one is not coming off the design wall until the top is done. I know for those of you that are Buttermilk Basin fans, you've probably been keeping up with Stacy on Instagram and her new shop that she is decking out in all her decorating glory. She really does have a decorating sense, let me tell you. The other thing that I'm going to do, which is totally off the charts for me, I mean, it's not, and let me tell you, I know that we have to kind of readjust our mindset, but the thought of this year not having quilt classes or quilt retreats, it's just daunting to think about. And so the Stitching Post is doing a class, a Zoom class with Jean Wells, and that, I'm telling you, that is perfect for me, because I don't know if I'm going to need these two. I'm just not going to put them on until we find out if I need them. A Zoom class. Now see, I have to tell you, it would be hard for me to sign up for a class with Jean. I so admire her, and the whole, you know, I'm a pattern follower, and so the whole concept of being creative and outside the box is very daunting for me. I took a class a few years ago that was more on the side of art. It was with her sister Jean Yeager, and it was called My Best Friends class, and it's where I created a collage quilt of Enzo. And I mean, it's okay, but the talent, it's a different talent. It's a different talent for that. And so, you know, like his eyes and stuff, I'm still not pleased with how his eyes are. But I could take a Zoom class, because then you're not intimidated by your classmates who are like, you know, who've taken a lot of classes with Jean. I think more people should do Zoom classes like Jen Kingwell and Sue Spargo, where you could actually interact a little bit, you know. That, I mean, that would be awesome. So I've got all my strip. Now I just have to iron it and attach it to the quilt. So let's go through a few old UFOs and don't judge me. Don't judge me. I keep my UFOs, ones that I have started in some form, in project boxes, and they're stacked in the closet. And so, and then I put a label on them. So like, I will start, I'm going to show you 4 of them. I usually put a label on them. This one doesn't have a label, but I usually put a sticker right here that says what the name of the project is, so that I know I can just grab it and know that that's what it is. And then I peel, when the project's done and a new project goes in, I just put another sticker on. So this project is one that I did, a block of the month that I did through Primitive Gatherings. And I'm a big fan of Yoko Saito, and she does such extraordinary applique. And Primitive Gatherings put together one of her block of the months with wool, and even more importantly, in the colorway that was like the original applique quilt. And so it's this book, and you'll notice when I use a book, when I'm using a book big time, I take it down to my local printers and I have them spiral bind it so that I can just flip the pages real easily. You know, you don't have to have the bulge and stuff. And there's a few books that I have done this to, because I know that it's just going to make my life easier. So this is her Floral Bouquet quilt, and it's all hand appliqued, but Primitive Gatherings, and here's the quilt on the back. Isn't that gorgeous? So Primitive Gatherings made that applique quilt into wool, you know, created into wool. And so here are my blocks. Now, this goes to show you, I just want to reinforce with you how great the products that I use for my wool, I just really love them. I don't know whether it's the climate here that makes them work so well or what, but these blocks have been fused for probably 2 or 3 years. Yeah, and they're still so here's one, and that is with soft fuse to fuse the wool, and then SF 101 on the back. So I still have to stitch that one. It looks like I have started stitching this one. This one's done. See, some of these are done. It looks like this is about half stitched. That's all done, and that's all embroidery stitched on the top, the white little plant material. That's all done. See, it's all stitched. All stitched. Finished stitching. Gosh, I'm almost done with this. I need to just crank this thing out. I mean, these are all finished. These blocks are all finished. one's all done. And this one's all done. Holy moly. You see, this is what happens. I get distracted with another block of the month, and then I find out that, oh, I was so close, because these are all done. See, they're all done. Yeah. Oh, that's so pretty. I think this has to be the next one because, and here's the last one, all done. Wow. It's like, wow. And then here's the border blocks. Now, I do remember that I wasn't really fond of the border, and that happens to me a lot. And so I figure, hey, it's my quilt. I can do what I want to do. And so I remember that some of my friends that were working on this either did the border exactly as scripted in the book, or they changed it up a little. And I'll have to see once I get every single block finished. And gosh, let's see, how many do I have left to do, actually have left to do? This one is all done. Oh no, this is the one that's partially done. Oh, it's almost all done though. It looks like, yeah, I just have some of the leaves and the rest of the bird. Looks like this was the one I was working on. And then this one needs to be totally done. So 2 blocks and all the blocks are done. So that's, I'm all excited again. Okay, thank goodness we're only doing 4 of these. I could drive myself crazy. This is a very old block of the month. And I used an entirely different technique on this one. But this is Kathy Schmitz embroidery block of the month. And it's, a lot of people did it, you know, so here's one of the patterns. I'm going to actually bring the camera in just a hair so you don't have to see me, but you could see the blocks a little bit better. How about that? There we go. There we go. We can do this together, huh? So, these were meant to be individual little hangings, monthly hanging quilts on a little stand. But I decided to, I have no idea. I decided to do the thing all in one quilt. And so let's see, that one is done. He's almost done. He's the Halloween one. And see, here's, okay, I just love Kathy Schmitz embroidery. Here, this one's all done. But what I wanted to do was to make it into one whole quilt. Here's the Valentine one. It just needs, these all need the border. And see, all the embroidery is done. I did all that embroidery. So I just have to do the outside borders and then lay it out and piece it all together. I had a brain fart right there because I was looking at the back of that going, wow, I'm really good at embroidery. See, this one's, the border's all on this one. there's this one. Ooh, and all that crackle fabric. Yeah, so that literally is so close you can almost taste it. And what happened? I probably got distracted by something else. Sometimes I just crack myself up. But yeah, I need to get that one done too. I mean, literally, the hardest part of this was the embroidery. The most labor-intensive, I should say, was embroidery, and that's all done. And I think because when it comes to handwork, once I get the fun part done, you know, I'm moving on in my brain. Okay. Are you ready for the next one? Oh, I'm exhausted already. Heart to hand. Love me some heart to hand. And this is my sewing room. So cute. I'm like, so cute. So cute. I mean, it's a wall hanging with all sewing room themes. So let's see how far we've gotten on this. Well, here's the little thread block. And this was all wool. Let's see. Oh, it looks like, oh my gosh. Let's see. There's one whole strip, and it's needs to be stitched down, but doesn't look like it's like complicated stitching. I should be able to do that in a heartbeat, I would think. Well, let's see what this is. Oh, there's the sewing machine block. And that is with soft fuse for the fusible in SF 101 on the back. Yeah, I'm gonna work real hard on getting some of my UFOs done. It's a little pin cushion. The button block. Oh, this one looks all done. This is the sewing room block. Yeah, I'm thinking that this needs to get done. That's going to be my goal. That's going to be my goal for the rest of 2020, is to get some of these done. Some are so close you can taste it. Now the last one. Are you still with me? The last one is, I believe, my oldest UFO. It's like one of those things that, how can I say this? You put a challenge for yourself, and then you just want to meet that challenge. You want to know that you are that person. McLean, Stars and Sprigs. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Can you see that real good? Every other block is an applique block. So it's alternating pieced star with applique. Hand applique, because that's what I wanted to do. So here I've started my hand applique blocks. This one's almost totally appliqued. Yeah. And I use, when I do hand applique, I generally use silk thread. Yeah, silk thread. And these are prepped, all prepped and ready to go. And I'm thinking, yeah, it's like a needle turn. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? So I've already prepped these. And I didn't back these with anything because this is cotton on cotton. And then here are some of the star blocks that'll go in between. And they are just easy and fun to make. Easy and fun to make. But I thought, you know, I tried to talk myself out of it. You have to understand my reasoning sometimes. I looked at this quilt and I said, I am not doing that border. But I think I'm going to do that border, maybe just not that busy. I'm not real fond of how dense it is. You know, I mean, it fills the whole border space with applique. So I think what I need to do is just, I think I need to get all of the blocks done in the center, put it all together, and then look at it from afar and decide if I'm going to do that intensive border. But yeah, this is some kind of quilt. I think this would be an awesome thing to get done. It looks like I've prepped. See, I haven't opened this. It looks like I've gotten the blocks all paper prepped, and all the blocks of the months have arrived here. But here's the other issue, is that when you don't keep up on a block of the month, if they've made a mistake in what they provided, you're just out of luck. Yeah, you know what I was going to say. Out of luck, because this is so old. Let me see. When was this? Is there anything in here that tells me? Oh, the postage. I can look at the postage. $2011. It's 9 years ago, right? Yeah. Time to get working on it. Time to get working on it. And I think with a project this big, because I'm not like what they call in the stitch roadie world a monogamous stitcher, as you can see, I'm a kind of person. Whatever I see, I like a dog with a bone or a crow with a shiny thing, or, you know, I think I have to set some kind of a schedule up for myself, and like say I need to get 5 of these applique blocks done a month, or even 1 a week. 4 would be great, and then eventually you'd see this as getting done. I mean, the stars, you could get the stars all done in a week of stitching. That'd be kind of fun to get all the stars done. Do you see me kind of trying to figure it out? Is there anybody out there that's just like me? Or do you get your stuff done? I have one friend that does one project at a time. Her stash, this big. Yeah. So this is a project that I think when I get it done, it's going to be extraordinary. Because I'm a decent hand appliquer. What can I say? What can I say? So maybe, just maybe, next time I'll show you 4 more. I know. Yeah, there's 4 more in there. I shouldn't have signed up for that block of the month in the fall, huh? But it's kind of interesting. Sometimes I get the newer stuff done before the older stuff, but oh well. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate the company. Don't tell anybody about my UFOs, okay? Yeah. The less the world knows that there's someone like me, that might be better. And we'll see you next time up in the beehive.
Thanks for watching.
And be sure to like and subscribe on Quilt Roadies.